Now, brand and reputation analyst Thebe Ikalafeng joins us now via Zoom from Davos in Switzerland. Always good to talk to you, my brother. How is Davos and WEF this year?
Davos is very cold as always. Don't be confused by me wearing a light shirt. I'm indoors now at the Brand South Africa Hub, the South Africa Hub. So it's very cold, but exciting because everybody's out here.
So, Brand South Africa Hub, how important is it to be branding the country at a platform such as this?
Oh, well, it's very important. Matter of fact, if you go onto the promenade, which is the main street where the Congress is and where many organizations are, you are going to see Malaysia, you're going to see India, you're going to see Singapore, you're going to see South Africa. So it's very important to brand yourself in this area because all countries are competing for a share of the investment pie. And South Africa, similarly, like these other countries, are also here with the story that says, come and invest with us because we've got better prospects for growth.
So when I go to my local supermarket and I want to buy something, I choose something because of the brand, it makes me feel certain things. Is that what we're trying to do with the countries, that when they think South Africa, they feel certain things? And if that's the case, what are those things?
Well, what we are saying to the rest of the world community is when you think about South Africa, think about growth. So that's why our overall message is grow with South Africa. We're saying to the world that we are the most attractive destination for the continent in Africa because we've got a very diverse economy, we're very competitive, and we've got a very creative DNA. So what we say is when you think growth, think South Africa.
So the challenge with that brands face often is headwinds come along the way. Energy on the one hand, stories about labor unrest. How do you overcome all of this to keep the brand alive and desirable?
Well, I think the governor spoke earlier about one of the DNAs of South Africa, which is the resilience. We're a country that is used to shocks, whether it's social shock or whether it's economic shock or whether it's structural shock. So the story that we need to communicate is to communicate the resilience of the country, but also the sustainable part of what this country can be and can do. So, of course, we have to acknowledge as well the challenges because you cannot sugarcoat the challenges that you've so well articulated, whether it's energy challenge or whether it's even COVID challenge, or whether it's even the impact of the war on South Africa and many other countries. So the important thing is to allay fears that these too shall pass. That these are temporary shocks or temporary challenges, but the country, the fundamental DNA of the country is a country that is resilient, a country that will overcome these. And I think you're listening to the messages earlier. You spoke about Minister speaking about the energy challenge and looking at an 18-month or so time frame. So South Africa is a resilient country. That's how you speak about the country.
How much share of mind do we have out there? I mean, are people becoming aware of the riches that South Africa has, or is it just a country that's south of the continent?
Well, this year we have an incredible share of mind because there's a country focus on South Africa. There's a session focusing on South Africa, the country. There is also South Africa tomorrow night hosting the official WEF welcome event with over 1,000 delegates who are going to be fed South Africans, show they're going to eat South Africa, they're going to dance South Africa, they're going to celebrate South Africa. I think that's an incredible audience for South Africa. So from a share of voice perspective, this year South Africa has got the world's ears, if nothing else.
So what will success look like when you come back and you've done all your brand architecture and work? What will success look like when you come back?
I think success will be measured in the same way that we measured the South African Investment Conference, where the country exceeded its 5-year targets for FDI or for investment in South Africa. Success to me is more investment in South Africa, more tourism in South Africa, more South Africans positive about South Africa, opportunities to create jobs being created about South Africa, so to me those are some of the minimum measures of success. Of course, it doesn't mean that this is going to happen immediately when everybody gets off the plane, but it just means that we should be on the right track, and we should be focusing on the right challenges and the right solutions for the country. That's how you measure success. Measure success in terms of the opportunity and the possibility of what we can do, and the implementation of the ideas that we talk about.
You've mentioned growth, but I guess one of our low-hanging fruits has always been tourism. We have everything from wildlife to the best beaches, best shopping. Is this something that people are becoming more aware of, particularly an audience such as ADWEF?
Well, in the continent, South Africa has always been one of the leading tourist destinations. South Africa has always been one of the most preferred destinations for tourism, perhaps in the top 3 in the continent, along with the Egypts of the world. In our heydays, we are attracting as many as 10 million tourists, contributing as much as 5% of labor, of the employment, as well as almost 10% of the GDP. So, of course, people are aware of South Africa as an attractive tourism destination. It's always been the low-hanging fruit, as you say, and it's always been the one place where we truly show what it means to be South Africa, the beauty of South Africa.
What's the hardest job you have to overcome in terms of things that have been attached to the South Africa brand? I guess one of them must be crime. It's just talked about. Whether the statistics bear it out compared to other parts of the world doesn't matter. Often they just say South Africa and they put this adjective next to it, or this word next to it.
Well, certainly. We shouldn't sugarcoat the challenges of the country. So crime has been one of those difficult crime, or perception of crime has always been one of those difficult parts of South Africa. I guess also what happens with the politics of South Africa is also something that we need to focus on, ensuring that the focus on the country is not on the politics, but rather on the profits, in terms of what the country is doing for its people, what it's doing for its citizens, what it's doing for business, and what it's doing for visitors. So to me, if we as a country can come together, be patriotic, less focus on politics, more focus on the country, make the country safe to visit, country safe to live in, we will be on the right track. I always say, people, when they ask me what is the one thing South Africa should do right, I said safety and security. If we can fix that, it fixes everything else. It fixes corruption, it fixes people feeling uneasy at home, or visitors feeling uneasy to South Africa. It makes it difficult for people to steal or to corrupt the country. If we can fix safety and security, will be on an incredible trajectory as a country, and I think that's what we need to do or focus on. Of course, we need to fix some of the structural issues in relation to energy as well. So to me, those are the two big things: crime, safety and security, and energy. If you can fix those things, because those two are fundamental to the growth of opportunity or the growth possibilities of South Africa.
All right, you've talked about growth, you've talked about investment. Those are quite inward looking. What about outwards? Are we selling our businesses, our ingenuity, our products, our innovations out there?
Well, we've got 110 or so delegates from South Africa, business delegates from South Africa here at WEF. And then one of the things that we need to be cognizant of, or something we should be excited about as a continent, as a country, is with the Africa Free Trade Continental Free Trade Area, which came into effect in 2020. That's a great opportunity for South Africa to market its products outside of South Africa. Now, every year I do Brand Africa, top 100 brands in the continent, and South Africa has always been at least more than half of the brands that people admire from the continent, which are African, come from South Africa. So in terms of South Africa being a great brand producing country, that's always to the best at the test of time. You can think about it, whether it's from a continental perspective, the work that an MTN GTN has done, whether it's a global perspective, the work that a Discovery has done, the beers of the world, the All Mutual across the continent. So South Africa is a great brand building nation. And whenever we go at South Africa, we know how to travel how to sell our wares out in the world. So I don't think South Africa is necessarily from an economic, from a business way, I don't think we're necessarily inward looking. I think we've always been in and outward looking, and that is why the most admired brands in the continent or the most admired brands from Africa come from South Africa.
Yeah, and many of them owe you for their assistance and consulting. Thanks, Thebe, for joining us. Enjoy Davos. Stay warm, my brother.
I will. Thank you so much, Peter. Just keep the sun for me. I'm coming. Keep
Absolutely.
The sun. That's all I want.
And it's really hot at the moment. See you soon.